What I'm looking for in an outstanding wine is a wine that's more than the sum of its parts. When I first taste a wine that I'm reviewing or just enjoying, I take in the impression of the aroma and the flavors, and I get an immediate impression if it's a great wine, is going to be great. Then when I'm reviewing, of course, I sit and sniff and sip and write down what I'm sensing. And then that's when I go through the parts. I'm talking about what are the aromas, the flavors, the acid, the tannin, the overall balance, alcohol, body. And those things confirm the quality, but it's only when they're all working together that you get this sort of magic of a great wine. You can't really add it up by the parts, and that's why I say a great wine is more than the sum of its parts. For me personally, I'm excited to explore some places I haven't seen for a while in depth. I'm going to be going to Oregon and Washington. I live in Napa, and I'm very familiar with Napa and Sonoma regions and the wines, which are great. I'm looking forward to more of that, but I'm looking forward to going to Washington and Oregon, revisiting places in the Willamette Valley, Walla Walla, Red Mountain, and coming back up to speed and reacquainting myself with the area and the winemakers. I can think of two trends that I hope are happening. One I know is happening, but the first is prices of wine should come down a little bit in 2024. I think pretty much internationally, especially in the US, because sales are slowing somewhat, and the wine industry, winery owners and marketers are kind of concerned about the sales slipping. So often that leads to some reductions in prices, or at least delays in raising prices. So hopefully consumers will get a bit of a break or a pause this year regarding what have been pretty escalating prices. The other thing really interesting in terms of the way wine is made, the way the grapes are sourced, I see it especially in Napa and Sonoma, but I think it's happening up and down the West Coast. More wineries are doing single vineyard wines where they call out the actual piece of land where the grapes came from. So instead of having a Chardonnay that says Russian River Valley or Sonoma County, it will say an individual vineyard site like Bootlegger's Hill. So the people who drink those wines are tasting the place, the terroir, more than they've been able to often in the past. I'm seeing that in Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and also in Cabernet and some of the other Bordeaux varietals as well. At the moment, at home, it's winter. I live in Napa Valley, Northern California, and it's not very cold, but we have frosty nights and it rains, and it's much cooler than the summer months. So I eat and drink according to the seasons. I think a lot of people do. So in the winter is a good time to have the big fat white wines like Chardonnay or Viognier. Also, this is when you pull out your Cabernet, your big red blend that you've been saving for a few years, and have that with a roast or a stew, or even a roast chicken is like the perfect dish for almost any wine. So I'm pulling out those bigger, richer wines during this season.